Got that penny loafer squeak, cross linoleum, big flex complex Napoleon. Say whatever and whatever that I want, sip a Capri Sun like it's Dom Perignon. Am I dressed as lavish Tyler today? Possibly. It's just because I'm feeling a little lavish today, it's alright, but I also want to talk about 25 and how it might be important and significant to 21 Pilots. I've just been really cooking with 21 Pilots lately, forgive me. I just posted a video talking about like a hair and the symbolism behind that in 21 Pilots, and now we're talking about 25. It's just a 21 Pilots week, I guess. But anyways, the number 25 is something that 21 Pilots have been teasing repeatedly, and here recently they are talking about 25 again, leading a lot of theorists like myself to wonder what in the heck does that mean.
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
Now, there is a very cool Twitter thread, which there's a whole video about that, so I don't want to get into that because people have done that and I don't want to steal content from anybody. But 21 Pilots have done a lot with 25. Let's just run through it, shall we? That picture of Blurry Face, the Line music video, the miles that Josh ran. It's popped up in live streams. It's popped up in timestamps. Just generally so many references to 25. And at the FPE event, we had that puzzle that translated to Clancy, the final chapter 25. And now with the most recent teaser with 25, we have, it's not really an official teaser, it's just computer nerds knowing something's about to go down, which is beyond me. I went to school for psychology because in liberal arts you don't need to do math, and I didn't want to do math, so that's just not something I deal with. But apparently 21 Pilots are preparing something on their website that involves the number 25, so once again 25 is becoming important. But why is that? Now, I think the most literal answer is 6/25, June 25th, which everyone thought was last June 25th, but it wasn't. Nothing happened. This June 25th might be something, and what that something might be, I have no idea. Literally could be anything. I know a lot of people have their hopes up for like another album, an album to go along with Clancy, and as awesome as that would be, I'm just trying to be realistic. I think like my expectations would be like an EP at best, or maybe just like another song, or maybe it's gonna be something. If it's like the Level of Concern game, I'm quitting. I'm retiring. I don't think I could do that again. But considering that they spent like a decent amount of time on it now, it could be something big. At first I was managing my expectations and being like, it's just, could be a song at best and I'll be happy with that. But they've put some time into whatever they're cooking, so I guess we'll see. June 25th is not that far, but until then, I want to talk about why I think 21 Pilots chose 25, because numbers are important in 21 Pilots, colors are important in 21 Pilots. There's so much detail that goes into the world of 21 Pilots, and for sure, if there's a specific number that keeps appearing in 21 Pilots, there's probably a reason, because Tyler Joseph never does anything to be doing it. There's always some sort of deep cryptic reason. Now, when I did my research as to what 25 could mean, I looked into like angel numbers and spirituality, but I also looked into what it could mean in the Bible, because obviously Tyler and Josh are Christians. They reference Christianity a lot, and so I feel like that might be important for Tyler, and there's some interesting answers here. Some themes in numerology with the number 25 is spiritual guidance, new perspectives, and the union of the body and soul. It is considered a powerful number that represents a blend of balance, peace, freedom, power, and growth. If we think 25 is the ultimate final chapter in the 21 Pilots storyline, I think that connects, and I could see why Tyler was attracted to the number 25. Clancy as a character has went through a lot of growth, being stuck in Dima, to escaping Dima, to being with the Banditos, to learning how to seize, and now defeating Dima. I feel like he's absolutely found his power and freedom if he defeats Dima, which obviously I feel like that's gonna happen. Now, the whole idea of new perspectives and the union of the body and soul are something that I think ties into something else that 21 Pilots have been teasing, and that is Clancy being a bishop, or temporarily turning into a bishop. Now, the mindset all throughout Blurryface and Trench is that Dima and the bishops are the bad guys, and I'm not saying they aren't, but you have to keep in mind here that this is a story that parallels mental health. And this is something that I've talked about in another video, and then probably like another video. But if Clancy becomes a bishop, I think he is going to find that balance. He's going to gain a new perspective of it isn't just good and it isn't just bad. In order to fully grow as a person, you need to accept both halves, which I think might be that new perspective that Clancy takes on if he becomes a bishop to defeat Dima. The union of the body and soul, at least in my interpretation, as if none of these videos I post are just my interpretation and thoughts, whatever. The union of the body and soul, at least in my interpretation, is the union of the Blurryface Tyler and the Clancy Tyler coming together. And if Clancy becomes a bishop, we have those two halves of him coming together, that union that the number 25 represents. But I don't know, that's just me. I just say silly things on the internet. Now, once again, the number 25 has some similar themes in the Bible, this idea of balance and power. But in the Bible, it's also associated with grace upon grace, forgiveness of sins, and the concept of a new beginning or a fresh start. Again, I feel like these meanings are just like neon signs, like it's so obvious how this connects within 21 Pilots. Now, the forgiveness of sins might also tie into Bishop Clancy and him fully recognizing that this part of him has to exist and accepting that there's a negative side to him and him finding peace with that. But also the concept of a new beginning or a fresh start. I think this is both in a literal and story sense. Obviously, this is the end of the 21 Pilots storyline, which I think scared a lot of people because they thought like there would never be another concept album from 21 Pilots. I don't think that's true, because I don't think Tyler Robert Joseph would be happy if he wasn't coming up with some storyline. I feel like he just enjoys that too much. So I always thought that if the Blurryface and Trench and Dima storyline came to an end, that there would just be another story, like a spin-off of sorts that would continue in the future albums. I don't think that like lore and all of it is going to end. Just this story, you know what I mean? You know, like how you have main movies and then those movies do good, and so they do like spin-off shows about them. I think that's probably what's gonna happen with 21 Pilots. I just think ultimately, just because of how Tyler's mind works, I think he'll just want to work on another story and not this one. So by ending the Clancy storyline, it gives the band a new start, a new beginning of what other story they want to tell, what direction do they want this band to go in. It absolutely gives them a new beginning. But I think it also gives Clancy and Torchbearer and the Banditos a new beginning as well within their own storyline. If Dima is defeated, they have a new beginning. They have a new world that they can live in without Dima, and that in itself gives the storyline a new beginning. But those were just my thoughts and opinions and feelings about the number 25. As I said before, I have no idea what 25 could mean. Could be anything. I guess we'll find out. But if you enjoy the video, please hit like and subscribe to join the Groovy Graveyard. Shout out to my patron on Patreon. If you would like to join this person, check out the link in my bio. I got some pretty cool things going on over there. And I will see you in the next one.